Tonight, back to the office.
Not everything in the city of the future is going to require that people come downtown.
The City of Ottawa is ending hybrid work and will require all employees to be back in the office 5 days a week come January. Take it home when you go.
Everything go into the big dumpsters means that everything goes into landfills, so it doesn't allow for recycling to actually take place.
Students and staff told to pack up their recycling this fall as blue bins are removed from Ottawa schools, leaving nowhere to throw the glass and plastic. And new year, new building.
Looking forward to get better grades.
School is back at this new French public school in Barrhaven. Good evening. We begin tonight with breaking news. The city is making a major change to its remote work policy, putting an end to hybrid work altogether. It will soon require employees to be in the office 5 days a week. CTV's Austin Lee joins us now with the details and reaction to this announcement. Austin.
Yeah, Patricia, in a memo to council this afternoon, City Manager Wendy Stephenson said that the changes will come into effect on January 1st, and it may be possible for some employees to continue to work from home in certain cases. This is still a major change for the city and its work policy, and it's something Premier Doug Ford has been calling for. But at the same time, there are concerns over increasing commute times. Stats Canada says Ottawa-Gatineau saw the largest increase in workers commuting to work out of the 15 largest markets here in Canada. The average commute time in the NCR, 26.4 minutes. That was in this past May. Several city councillors say they were surprised by today's decision and they don't agree with it.
It's really important to understand that for a lot of those city workers who are working from home, they're doing great work. At no point in the course of the last 2 or 3 years have I had any difficulty getting great work out of city staff. I don't think that this is a productivity discussion.
Laura Dudas, Lane Johnson, Glenn Gower, Ariel Troster, Sean Menard, those are just some of the other councillors who have also spoken out against this move to bring staff back to the office full-time. This move comes after the province announced all of its public service workers will be required to be in the office full-time as of January. Meantime, federal employees are required to be in the office at least 3 days a week. Patricia.
CTV's Austin Lee live for us tonight. Thank you. And you can download the CTV News app right now. Just scan the QR code on your screen using your smartphone. We have more details on the city's decision to end hybrid work. Well, thousands of students in the city headed back to school today, and Ottawa's two largest school boards resume classes next week. But there will be something missing from every classroom in the capital. Blue bin recycling bins will not be in any Ottawa schools this fall, putting an end to the plastic, glass, and metal recycling program. CTV's Kimberly Johnson is following this story, joins us now with the details. Kimberly?
That's right, Patricia. The end of blue bins in Ottawa schools raises many questions. Who deals with the used plastic? Teachers, parents? And what about the lessons on recycling kids have been taught? Is it all for naught? When Elaine O'Connor packs a lunch for her two kindergartners this year, she's expecting more than leftovers to come home.
Our school tells our kids just to send everything home, so we get a lunch bag full of garbage back.
Now, plastic recycling will also come back as blue bins are removed from Ottawa classrooms, which O'Connor worries could throw away lessons on recycling.
I would assume that it would mean just less education on actually physically doing the activity itself.
The blue bin recycling program is ending at Ottawa's 4 major school boards. A memo to principals from the Ottawa Carleton District School Board obtained by CTV Ottawa says that blue bin recycling was contracted to a local vendor who is no longer providing these services to school boards. Both the Catholic and public boards are hoping to find another option, but have so far not found a replacement service.
That's not the role of the teacher.
The union representing elementary school teachers raising concerns. Educators will become responsible for students' recycling.
It's sad because many students have learned to do it thanks to our schools, thanks to the teachers reminding them, but not teachers taking home their stuff to recycle in their own blue bins.
For now, boards are encouraging parents to pack litterless lunches, use reusable containers, and have students bring home food for proper disposal at home, something many parents are already used to doing.
Past couple of years, I've stocked up on the bento boxes and stuff, so everything just comes out of the package and into the box, into the lunch bag.
School boards would not confirm the name of the local vendor that used to collect blue bins from Ottawa schools, but officials do say that paper recycling will continue as usual in the fall, and they are working towards finding a future solution. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Kimberly Johnson live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, it was back to school today for a lot of teachers and students in Ottawa's French boards. For some, a new year of learning starts at a brand new school in the Barrhaven-Manotick area. École élémentaire publique des Visionnaires on Robin Easy Avenue, officially welcoming students and teachers for the first time today. CTV's Katie Griffin was there as the first bell rang. Katie.
Well, Patricia, there may have been a few first day jitters, but a lot of excitement for both students and parents.
It's a big day for Aya Mohammed.
I feel a little nervous, but really excited.
She's starting grade 3 at École élémentaire publique des Visionnaires.
Looking forward to learning some new stuff.
In a brand new school.
Brand new everything. I'm excited for her to make new friends, meet new teachers. It's just an exciting time.
I'm looking forward to get better grades.
Best friends Miriam and Lena, goal setting on day 1.
To have fun and learn. To have a good year. Having a good teacher.
I'm excited. The kids are going to school. It's a brand new school, so we're excited for that. Closer to our home as well.
Barrhaven-Manotick has been growing quite a bit, and the French population throughout Ontario is growing, especially in this sector.
The French public school can accommodate 475 students from kindergarten to grade 6.
It's people going to activities together, it's barbecues, it's parents coming in and out, and it's kids getting an education in French, in a quality French public system.
We're happy to have a school nearby in the neighborhood. Kids don't have to take the bus anymore.
An exciting day for teachers too.
A lot of motivation, a lot of engagement, and we are ready to start a new page.
And for students, time to hit the books.
I like math.
Now, some students in Ottawa have already been in class since mid-August. The English and public and Catholic boards go back next week. Patricia.
I love math too. What
I'm
about
glad
you,
you
Katie?
guys do. I'm glad you do.
CTV's Katie Griffin, not so much. Thanks for this, Katie.
Still ahead, how does lifting counter tariffs against the U.S. impact consumers here? Are we paying less? And for what? That story coming up.
And here is a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. Someone was making fun of me for saying 19 degrees is cool in Ottawa. I think it's pretty cool for this time of year. Certainly not as warm as we have seen, but we'll get a little bit warmer tomorrow as we look at the next 24 hours or so. A chance of showers this evening, and then a nice day tomorrow. Mix of sun and cloud. Our high should be about 22 degrees tomorrow. We have more clouds on Thursday, and a pretty good-looking long weekend upon us. 19 degrees this evening. You'll wake up to 11, so you'll want that long sleeve in the morning if you are walking or riding to work. 19 by noon, 22 is our high. Well, one person is dead after a single vehicle rollover crash east of Rockland. It happened around 6:45 this morning on County Road 17 between Landry Road and Rollin Road. OPP say the car was traveling westbound when it crossed into the eastbound lane, struck a guardrail and entered a ditch where it rolled over multiple times. Despite life-saving efforts by bystanders, the 33-year-old man died at the scene. 2 people were seriously injured in a crash in the city's south end today. Emergency crews were called to First Line Road near Phelan Road East just before 11 a.m. A pickup truck and car collided. The pickup truck left the roadway and struck a tree, and the car ended up in the ditch. According to Ottawa paramedics, the driver of the pickup truck had a medical incident before the crash. He was airlifted to hospital in serious but stable condition. The driver of the car suffered non-life-threatening injuries. One person is dead after a head-on crash on Highway 50 near Gatineau. Police say an SUV traveling eastbound veered into the westbound lane, colliding with an oncoming truck. The driver of the SUV, a man in his 40s, was pronounced dead in hospital. A transport truck driver is facing charges in connection with a fatal crash near Cornwall back in March. 33-year-old Amanda Maloney was killed when a car and 2 tractor-trailers collided on Highway 138 between McNeil and McLean Roads. OPP have charged a 50-year-old from Ajax with dangerous driving causing death. The crash sparked calls for safety changes on Highway 138. Well, a home in Osgood is severely damaged after a fire this morning. Multiple people called 911 around 5:15, reporting smoke and flames coming from a house on Eloise Crescent. When crews arrived on scene, the front of the home was engulfed in flames. There were no hydrants in the area, so firefighters had to set up a water shuttle system using tanker trucks. The living room floor collapsed, creating additional hazards. It took about 45 minutes to get the fire under control. No one was injured. Firefighters are battling a brush fire in the Ottawa Valley tonight as dry conditions continue across the region. The fire near Wilno is around 1.9 hectares in size. It sparked around 2 p.m. this afternoon, still not under control, but the township of Madawaska says it's no longer spreading. Officials say there's no risk to any structures or the public at this time. Well, turning now to the latest on the trade war, Canada's decision to lift most retaliatory tariffs on most U.S. goods is bringing relief to shoppers who could soon start seeing prices drop, particularly at the grocery store. Here's CTV's Dave Charbonneau.
Did you find everything you were looking for? Yeah.
At Cedars & Co. Food Market on Bank Street, they've had to shift away from offering American produce and goods.
We have had to transition because of the tariffs.
Back in March, the Carney government imposed counter tariffs on a long list of American goods, including coffee and tea, orange juice, tires, shoes, and electronics.
When the tariffs came in, we saw a huge rise on dry goods as well as product lines in the produce area. So from anything that came in from the United States, oranges went up significantly up in price. So we transitioned. South Africa, Argentina, Ecuador, Portugal, Morocco.
I like to know where my products come from.
With Canada set to lift tariffs September 1st, businesses and shoppers are counting on lower prices.
I would say 90% of our clients have boycotted U.S. goods, and they are relying solely on Canadian goods.
They support local businesses, Canadian businesses, and try to avoid unnecessary tariffs where they apply.
I want to support the local producers. The people who are doing all the work, I want to support them on the Canadian side.
At Capital Furniture and Mattress, owner Nadia Gadban says tariffs have hurt sales.
They've slowed down business for sure.
But come September 1st, Gadban plans to cut prices.
We are going to drop our prices back down by 15% so that we're back to the norm that we were because customers have noticed the sudden increase. So this is our Canadian brand.
But when it comes to mattresses, customers here also buying Canadian.
Our business has gone up 25% since the tariffs were implemented because people have stopped buying the American brand.
The price of coffee beans went up considerably the minute the tariffs hit.
Back at Cedars & Co., Dibs says she might consider U.S. goods again, but only as a last resort.
So if the produce significantly comes down in price and we need to adjust and we cannot find it in other countries, diverse countries, we will definitely have to fall back on the U.S.
Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
We have extended coverage of how the trade war is impacting the price of goods in Canada. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. And CTV News has learned Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc met with Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick in Washington today. LeBlanc sharing this photo on social media saying he spoke with Lutnick and his senior team. LeBlanc's office is describing the talks as constructive. The meeting lasted 90 minutes, which was longer than scheduled, but it's still not known whether the countries are any closer to a deal. Meantime, Prime Minister Mark Carney was busy on the international stage today, committing to extending Canada's NATO mission in Latvia and pursuing new economic and military cooperation with Europe. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
What class of submarines? Prime Minister Mark Carney tours a shipyard. The German-Norwegian consortium TKNS is pitching Canada to buy its submarines.
Our subs are quieter than Canadian Snowfall, but tougher than a player in the Stanley Cup final.
In Berlin, the government announced it's narrowed its search for up to 12 new submarines to 2 companies, this one and South Korea's Hanwha.
It's not about buying the big shiny object from the showroom floor. It's about how you are going to sustain that capability over what will probably end up being 30 to 40 years.
Canada's submarine fleet is so old it will be decommissioned by 2035. Senior government officials describe the situation as having some urgency.
We need to be able to have year-round fleets in all 3 coasts under quite demanding conditions. So that's how the field narrows quite quickly.
In addition to tricky technical requirements, the government wants a purchase as massive as this one to have an equal investment in Canada.
Really positive indication with this announcement today, which is atypical for the way Canada's generally approached big procurements, and based on a project budget that could get into like $100 billion range, this could end up being the single most expensive and largest defense acquisition that we've ever undertaken.
TKMS's CEO said they were open to building in Canada, which would be a first.
The customer is always right? So if they want or demand for special, let's say, reasons to build them in Canada, we would also be able for that.
Wednesday, the Prime Minister will meet Canadian troops here in Latvia. Tonight, he announced he will extend the NATO mission Canada leads here by another 3 years. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Riga.
It's a wonderful milestone in her own love story. The world's biggest pop star is getting married. Taylor Swift announcing her engagement to NFL star Travis Kelce today, taking the entertainment world by storm. Here's CTV's Andrea Case.
Travis Kelce proposed and Taylor Swift said yes. And fans in Toronto couldn't be happier.
Yes! Oh, they're engaged.
They're engaged.
Wait, actually? Oh my gosh.
Have a good life with her husband.
Some good advice. What advice would you give him with her?
Be nice.
One of the world's most famous couples announced their engagement on Instagram with the caption, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." The ring, an old mine brilliant cut diamond from Kindred Lubeck. As for the dress she wore, by Ralph Lauren, already sold out. It was a 3-time Super Bowl winner, Travis Kelce, who pursued Swift more than 2 years ago.
So I was a little butthurt I didn't get to hand her one of the bracelets I made for her, one with my number on it.
Eventually they met, Swift admitting she didn't know much about football.
I didn't know what a first down was.
I am forever thankful for you diving into the football world.
And she certainly did, creating a stir just entering the football stadium, and NFL cameras constantly covering her every move in the Kelce family private box.
The latest status is I got to see her last week. That's the latest status right there. I'm going to keep my personal relationship personal.
She attended his games and he followed her on the Eras Tour, attending 14 concerts, even making an appearance in one of her London shows.
What I saw on that tour last year was pretty remarkable. It was something I could admire watching and take a lot of notes from.
Even President Donald Trump, when asked, had something to say on the news of the engagement.
Well, I wish him a lot of luck. I think he's a great player. I think he's a great guy, and I think that she's a terrific person, so I wish them a lot of luck.
He hasn't always been so gracious about the pop star, posting, "I hate Taylor Swift," after she endorsed Kamala Harris for president. Andrea Case, CTV News.
I was grateful that we had an alert.
Well, coming up, we'll have the latest on the wildfires burning out of control and threatening homes in Nova Scotia. Here's a live look now through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Actually warmed up a smidge. It's 20 degrees out there in Ottawa. We'll be back in just a moment.
CTV Ottawa is your home for local news.
Katie Griffin, CTV News in the Byward Market.
Centertown.
Canada.
Stittsville. Bringing you local stories that matter the most to you.
Kimberly Fowler in Westboro.
Orleans. Barhaven.
From every corner of the community. In the Glebe. Manotick.
Merrickville.
Brockville.
From the team you trust, we are CTV News Ottawa.
Live, local, breaking news. CTV News Ottawa.
Taking a look at your drive home on your Tuesday. This is the Queensway. We're seeing, for the most part, things moving fairly well. Slowdowns around Parkdale, Carling, Bronson area as you head westbound tonight. Well, an out-of-control wildfire continues to burn in Nova Scotia, growing in size in recent days, forcing hundreds of people to evacuate their homes. Firefighters from Ontario are now heading out east to relieve crews in Nova Scotia who have been battling the fire for nearly 2 weeks. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth has the latest.
Luann Eisner's emotions are still raw 2 days after being ordered to evacuate her home with the out-of-control Long Lake wildfire burning nearby.
I was thinking that... Sorry.
Yeah.
I was grateful. I was grateful that we had an alert.
Around 500 homes or properties have been evacuated. 12 days after Rob Howie and his family were told to flee West Dalhousie, he's still waiting for news on the condition of his property.
Lots of my friends and neighbors have lost their homes. I don't know about mine for sure. I've heard some rumors.
The wildfire, burning for 13 days, is more than 80 square kilometers in size. Crews are working nonstop in dangerous conditions to try and bring it under control.
Even though it may not be described as extreme in terms of large flames and the volumes of smoke we saw on Sunday, it's still burning very intensely and deep in the ground.
The smoke hovering over this area has prompted air quality alerts for 4 Nova Scotia counties, including some areas that are roughly 200 kilometers away from the wildfire. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News.
Well, here in our region, the dry conditions continue for the most part. Residents in Manotick enjoying the warm weather out at beautiful Watson's Mill today. Great place to feed the ducks there in the water alongside the mill. As we take a look at the forecast, it was certainly cooler today. 20 degrees is where we're at right now. 22 is the high that we were calling for. We got to about 19 by mid-afternoon, so maybe warming up just a touch here into the evening. We'll tell you how things look over the next little bit. We do have a chance of some showers tonight, seeing a few of those moving through the area, but for the most part, relatively dry over the next couple of days. One day where you may see some significant rain in our region. Taking a look at those conditions out east, you saw the situation in much of Nova Scotia. They are seeing sunshine in Halifax today, 21 degrees, 20 in Charlottetown, 19 in St. John's, and 21 in Fredericton as we move more into the central part of the country. Toronto also seeing cooler temperatures today, just 17 degrees there and 19 to the north of them in Sudbury today. As you move into the prairies, this is what we are seeing, the warm weather. It is certainly still summer there. 27 and sunny in Winnipeg, 30 with a mix of sun and cloud in Regina and Saskatoon. Maybe the odd shower in Saskatoon today. 28 and sunny in Calgary, warmer in Edmonton at 31 degrees, a hot day there. And in Vancouver, they're warmer than us today as well, 23 degrees with some sunshine out on the west coast. Take a look up north for a moment, if you will. 22 in Whitehorse, 22 in Yellowknife as well. After a cool summer there, they're seeing some nice temperatures this week. Tonight's lows are quite cool, quite chilly into single-digit territory up north. 7 in Kittigan-Zibi, 8 degrees in Pembroke. For us right here in Ottawa, we'll see 10 overnight, a little warmer to the east, 12 in Cornwall, 13 in Brockville, down along the Seaway. Kingston getting 13 degrees overnight as well. Bancroft, just 6 degrees overnight tonight. Slightly warmer than that in Maniwaki, 7, 8 degrees in Petawawa. So starting to see a lot of that moving into our forecasts as we move toward the end of August, counting down until September, and the Labor Day weekend, of course, is just ahead. Here's what tomorrow looks like. We do have some decent temperatures, really seasonal for this time of year. Still very pleasant, but a little bit cooler than what we've seen through the course of our hot summer. 22 in Ottawa tomorrow, and in much of our region, very similar temperatures with a mix of sun and cloud, potentially a shower or two. A 23-degree day on tap in Gatineau tomorrow. Your 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aids. Join them at the 55 Plus show at the EY Center September 12th and 13th. Okay, so here's what you have. A couple of days where, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22 into the weekend, 21 degrees to end your week on Friday, about a 60% chance of showers. The most likely that rain will be significant and will actually green up your lawn just a little. 40-degree chance of showers on Saturday as well at 22 degrees. Then things warming up on Sunday, 23. The overnight lows picking up a little bit as well. On Monday, your holiday Monday, Labor Day Monday, looks good. 26 degrees, partly cloudy. The best day that we're seeing, though, is the day most of the kids go back to school. 27 degrees and a mix of sun and cloud on Tuesday. Well, WeCook is Canada's leader in fresh, ready-to-eat meal delivery. Say goodbye to the stress of meal planning, prep, and dishes. WeCook chef-crafted meals are ready in 2 minutes or less, and CTV Ottawa wants to give you the chance to let WeCook handle the cooking so you can focus on what matters most. Head over to ctvottawa.ca now and enter today's unique code word for your chance to win a 1-year subscription. Today's code word is planning. Planning, P-L-A-N-N-I-N-G. There's a new code word every weekday, so the more you watch CTV News at 6, the more chances you have to win. Good luck.
Overall, we're calling for almost everywhere in Canada to be a bit milder this winter than normal.
Well, just ahead, the Farmer's Almanac shares its long-range winter forecast. We'll share what's in store for Ottawa and Ontario.
Tonight, a chilling twist.
These were not random murders.
The gruesome discovery and extensive investigation north of Toronto, plus how the alleged killer and victims are connected in the case. Later on CTV National News.
For the second day, massive nationwide protests took place across Israel, with families of the hostages calling for the release of their loved ones and an end to the war in Gaza. This comes as international pressure continues to mount on both sides to reach a ceasefire deal as the humanitarian crisis in the enclave worsens. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
On a highway outside of Tel Aviv, protesters burned tires, blocked traffic, and demanded an end to the war in Gaza.
Accept the deal that's on the table to end the bloodshed that's going on.
These protests are the largest anti-war demonstrations to take place in Israel since the Hamas-led attacks of October 7th, which triggered the war in Gaza. They come as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu faces mounting pressure, both at home and abroad, over the deteriorating situation in the enclave. On Monday, Israel struck one of the only functioning hospitals in southern Gaza, then hit the facility a second time as journalists and rescue workers rushed to the scene. At least 20 people were killed, including 5 journalists. Israel says the strike was targeting a Hamas camera and will investigate what happened.
And I've worked in that hospital.
Nicole Lessard spent May, June, and July working in Gaza as a nurse with Médecins Sans Frontières. She says the suffering is constant. There's not enough food or medicine, and since Israel handed over aid distribution to the U.S.-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, getting aid can be deadly.
When the sites made an announcement they were going to open for food distribution, we would shortly receive mass casualties to the hospital. They keep the doors closed and then open them. People rush in. The food is dropped in the center, and it's basically like a fight to the death.
As Israel pushes ahead with its military offensive in Gaza City, there are not only fears in Gaza but in Israel as well, with approximately 20 living hostages still being held in the enclave.
The Prime Minister has really gone rogue now. He's going against his chief of staff. He's going against the hostage families. He's going entirely against the international community.
Today, the United Nations demanded that Israel's investigation into the killing of journalists at Nasser Hospital comes with accountability, noting that over 270 journalists have been killed in Gaza since the war began. Heather Wright, CTV News.
This is unacceptable.
Now some other stories you need to know right now. We're still enjoying the last few weeks of summer, but we're already getting a glimpse at what could be in store for winter.
Overall, we're calling for almost everywhere in Canada to be a bit milder this winter than normal.
The Farmer's Almanac releasing its long-range winter forecast, predicting above-average temperatures across the country, but Ottawa and most of southern Ontario would be the exception, with colder and drier conditions expected here. The forecast for other areas of the country calls for more snow and precipitation than usual.
It's day 2 of Celebrity Week with Jackie Perez from CTV Ottawa.
That's me. Hello. Good morning.
She's not here, but she's there. Familiar voice on the Pure Country 94 airwaves this morning. Our own Jackie Perez co-hosting the morning pickup with Gord St. Dennis today, getting up early as part of Celebrity Week. Ashley is on vacation this week, so some special guests are filling in. Tomorrow is local wellness coach Katie Falloon-Drew. Thursday is iHeartRadio Weekender Tanea Taylor, and Friday is CTV's Kimberly Johnson. Well, if you watch the new episode of Amazing Race Canada tonight, as I will, you will likely see some familiar sights. The show is paying a visit to Kingston, Gananoque, and the Thousand Islands, sharing these photos on social media. Looks like the competitors will be doing a challenge at the Thousand Islands Copter Tours, stopping by Fort Henry in Kingston. And as well, they will be at Laverne's in Gananoque. The new episode airs on CTV tonight at 9 p.m. Well, Health Canada is recalling some furniture sold at the Brick due to high levels of lead. The recall covers Lars-branded furniture, including the Lars counter table, chair, wood top, metal base, and tabletop glass insert. The furniture was sold in 5- and 7-piece sets, around 17,000 units sold across the country between June 20th and 23rd and July of this year. I think that's between June 2023 and July of this year. No illnesses have been reported, but people who bought the furniture are advised to stop using it immediately.
Really starting to flow now.
Canada's Denis Shapovalov moved on to the second round of the U.S. Open with a straight sets victory over his opponent from Hungary. And Felix Auger-Aliassime also moving on. He just wrapped his match against Harris, also in straight sets.
We begged for help, which never arrived.
Well, coming up, an Ontario family speaks out after a mother died from sepsis shortly after giving birth to the family's third child.
Ottawa news, weather, traffic. It's everything you need. CTV Morning Live. Weekdays. Get the latest live, local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, CTV Morning Live, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
The husband is calling for justice, accusing an Ontario hospital of gross negligence after his wife died from sepsis after giving birth to their third child. CTV's Adrian Gabriel spoke to the man who maintains his wife should have survived.
On June 19th, 40-year-old Ravinder Sidhu arrived here at Mississauga, Ontario's Credit Valley Hospital for the successful delivery of a healthy baby boy. Though just 4 days later, the mother of 3 was sadly dead. The initial cause of death, a Group A strep infection.
Roughly 6 hours after the delivery of her newborn baby, Sidhu said she felt like she had hypothermia. Freezing cold, she was at times struggling to speak. Her temperature spiked, as did her white blood cell count and heart rate, and she was withering in pain. For 2 days, her condition deteriorated. Pleading for painkillers, her family said she was only given Advil and Tylenol. It wasn't until an infection appeared visible on her leg that she was taken to the ICU and administered an antibiotic. By then, her husband says it was too late.
By that point, she was already being eaten alive by the bacteria, and she was already suffering the worst pain. We begged for help, which never arrived. Now I learned that sepsis is a race against time, but doctors never started the clock. Had they listened to us, my wife would be still alive and she would be with her family. I really hope that no other family has to go through this.
Sidhu's family have filed a complaint with Ontario's Patients Ombudsman and with the hospital. In 2023, there were 4,600 cases of invasive Group A strep uncovered in Canada, a 40% increase from 2019.
When you see, those red flags, you have to intervene, right? And a lot of professionals are actually trained in the critical care and the ICU units, to deal with this, with these types of symptoms.
We asked the hospital if they're launching an official review into the specific standard of care given to Ravinder Sidhu. In an email, Credit Valley would only say that a review is part of their standard practice led by clinical experts. Adrian Gabriel, CTV News, Mississauga, Ontario.
Canada Post says it lost $407 million in its second quarter. BNN Bloomberg's Lindsay Biscaya has more on that and other business headlines.
Canada Post is reporting its largest quarterly loss, and the corporation says it's mostly due to labor uncertainty. The before-tax loss of $407 million comes after lengthy negotiations this year between the corporation and its union. This compares with a profit before tax of $46 million during the same period last year. The Bank of Montreal and Scotiabank beat earnings estimates in their third quarters. Both banks benefited from smaller than expected loan loss provisions. Shares of both BMO and Scotiabank were trading higher today as a result. And the U.S. dollar fell today, and stocks wavered as Donald Trump pushes to remove Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. The move by Trump is fueling concerns about central bank independence and inflation risks. Cook, meanwhile, has said she will not step down. And here's a look at how the trading day ended today. The Canadian dollar finished on a high at 72.28 US. West Texas Intermediate was down more than $1.50 to 63.25. Western Canadian Select climbed 95 cents to 51.72. And the TSX is up almost 170 points, finishing at 28,339. And those are your business headlines. I'm Lindsay Biscaya.
It affects us every day, and when you're going to get a mortgage or you're going to buy a car, those are things that you worry about. Do you have a job in the future?
Well, just ahead, we'll share reaction from the union representing postal workers to Canada Post's latest financial report.
CTV Ottawa wants to give you the chance to let We Cook handle the cooking so that you can focus on what matters most. We Cook is Canada's leader in ready-to-eat meal delivery, making meal prep effortless with delicious chef-crafted meals ready in minutes. To enter, watch CTV for the daily code word for your chance to win a one-year We Cook subscription. Whether it's a quick dinner or a hassle-free meal for the whole family, there's a new We Cook code word every day. Tune in for your chance to win.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
with a laid-back vibe,
where foodies love their sweets
and markets bursting with flavor,
wrapped up in waterways
and hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display.
And the future
meets the past.
Where people come together.
Always proud.
Often loud. Whee!
And positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa!
Well, the skies over the National Capital Region will be full of color tomorrow night during the start of the Gatineau Hot Air Balloon Festival. This year's lineup includes Flo Rida, Alessia Cara, and Talk. The festival takes place right through until Sunday at La Bay Park. The hot air balloons will take off every day around 6:30 p.m. Well, returning to the news about Canada Post financial troubles, the Crown Corporation reporting its largest loss before tax in a single quarter. CTV's Rachel Aiello has more on the reaction from the union and federal government.
Canada Post lost $407 million between April and June. Its profits deteriorating, due in part to a dramatic decline in parcel customers. Revealing the record loss, Canada Post said it continues to confront significant operational and structural challenges, and the ongoing labor uncertainty has contributed significantly. Last year's strike and the threat of more disruption this spring prompted this hobby shop owner, who for nearly 40 years loved and relied on Canada Post, to pivot.
That was why I had to make the move and say we can't rely 100% on one source.
He now lets his customers across the country choose their courier.
I've got to run a business and I can't shut down for a month or month and a half at a time.
The uncertainty is shared by Canada Post workers, the union says, as contract negotiations with the Crown Corporation remain stalled.
It affects us every day, and when you're going to get a mortgage or you're going to buy a car, those are things that you worry about. Do you have a job in the future?
The minister responsible calling Canada Post's financial situation deeply troubling, saying both sides have a responsibility to ensure a future that continues to serve Canadians, and that the government is committed to a sustainable, modern, and resilient postal service. With the government's expenditure review well underway, the minister also said he'll be keeping a close eye on Canada Post, which is on track to record an even larger annual loss in 2025 than last year's $840 million. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, just ahead, it is the unofficial start of fall. Yes, the pumpkin spice latte is back. We try some of the returning and new items on Starbucks' fall menu after the break. And taking another live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam, it is 20 degrees in the capital this evening. It will get cool overnight, a cool start to your day tomorrow, but a nice 22 for your Wednesday. We'll be back in a moment.
On Sunday, October 5th, CHEO's RBC Race for the Kids will support the largest redevelopment campaign in CHEO's 50-year history. Join CTV and Move 100 and register now for the 5K or 10K timed all-terrain routes or the 2K accessible family fun run at Wesley Clover Parks. Whether you run, walk, or cheer participants on, there will be something for everyone with music, food, and activities to enjoy. Register now for CHEO's RBC Race for the Kids and help support pediatric health care in our community.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sanaya Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, the #1 Ford EV dealer in Ontario.
Wednesday on CTV Morning Live, Mom in the Know, Julie Finley joins us as we continue our back-to-school guide. Julie will help us simplify back-to-school lunches. We tell you about the upcoming Red Blacks Women's Training Camp, a fun-filled event learning all things football. Wake up the right way with CTV Morning Live.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, 2 more episodes of Big Bang, The Amazing Race Canada, a near local edition tonight, and Battle of the Generations. And here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
A decision to force workers back to work 5 days a week is simply going to add more car traffic to our roads.
The city making a major change to its remote work policy, requiring all employees to return to the office 5 days a week in January.
Everything go into the big dumpsters means that everything goes into landfills, so it doesn't allow for recycling to actually take place.
When kids head back to class, they will no longer be able to recycle plastic or glass. Blue bins will not be in any Ottawa schools this fall after the private vendor did not renew the contract.
When the tariffs came in, we saw a huge rise on dry goods as well as product lines in the produce area.
Canada's decision to drop counter tariffs on most U.S. goods could be good news for consumers. Experts say prices at the grocery store and elsewhere could start falling. Well, speaking of fall, final check on the weather. Feeling a little bit closer to fall, and it will tomorrow morning when you wake up. 11 degrees, a chilly start to your day, a mix of sun and cloud. Very little breeze. It will get quite nice, though. 22 for your high with a mix of sun and cloud. We have 22 on Thursday as well, and then Friday just slightly cooler. Pretty good chance we'll see some rain on Friday, and we do need it, so not so bad. The weekend looking pretty good, our last long weekend of the summer. 22 with a 40% chance of showers on Saturday, 23 on Sunday, and your holiday Monday, 26 with a mix of sun and cloud. We want to check in now to see what our team will be working on tonight. Austin is here.
Yeah, thanks, Patricia. We'll have a pretty nuts story, and that is a pun, because researchers at an Ontario university, they're generating green energy using walnut waste. They've developed an inexpensive device that generates enough electricity to power a calculator using only walnut shells and drops of water. So they found that walnuts have the greatest potential to produce power thanks to their internal systems, which can transport water and nutrients for growth. It's a very interesting story. We'll have that tonight, but you can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca, and join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
Got to watch tonight.
Yeah.
Got to learn more about the nuts.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And finally for us tonight, every year it seems like this happens just a little earlier. The pumpkin spice latte is officially back on the Starbucks menu. The PSL, as they call it, is Starbucks' most popular seasonal drink of all time, and it signals the unofficial end of summer. Get this, Austin, roughly 20 million are sold worldwide every year. They don't even have fall in some parts of the world. The coffee chain also adding a new drink to the lineup this fall, a pecan oat milk cortado. Other fall drinks are also back on the menu, including the pumpkin cream cold brew and iced pumpkin cream chai, the pumpkin cream cheese muffin and raccoon cake pop. New food items out there, along with new mini everything bagels. Okay, so Austin, we've given you the drink
pecan one
here to try.
Like cortado or something.
Yeah, it's got a whole lot of words in it. Some oat milk in there. I don't know if you want to give that a try. I've got the icy pumpkin spice latte version.
Yeah, and this isn't sponsored either, so we can be honest with the reviews. I had a quick question about the raccoons. Is it actually the real raccoon bits they're using in there?
Just like a beaver tail.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. All right, here goes.
Okay. I'm scared when Austin says he's going to be honest.
It's a little too sweet for me, to be honest. But
yeah.
Hey, it's seasonal, I guess. I don't like the whole fall menu just yet because it's too early.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy summer.
A lot of people love these, though. I'm going to try this. I have to tell you. Okay, this is the mini everything bagel.
Okay.
I accidentally had a couple earlier because they were warm and they smelled delicious and looked delicious. So good. I'm going to get a bag of these and a glass of wine, and that's going to be dinner.
Yeah,
right
accidentally
there. Highly
ate
recommend.
one early. Accidentally.
Too early, actually. Have a good night, everyone.